6 large 8-feet deep fire pits are stoked from the afternoon before sunset ushers in the holiday. The pits are tended continually by men and boys as young as 5 years old, dressed completely in white, and though they enjoy their job, their demeanor portrays the depth of their sincerity. An official in a turbaned fez hat explains to both Orthodox and secular visitors the proceedings that they have been invited to observe. Kosher law dictates that the knife used for sacrifice must be so sharp that the animal will feel no pain. The lambs for the Passover sacrifice are not kept in a pen altogether. As was the story on the first exodus from Egypt, each family selects a lamb, takes it home several days before the holiday of remembrance, and brings it to the place of sacrifice shortly before sunset. Here, the ancient meets the modern, and careful checking, even by cell phone, as to each family's offering is done to ensure a calm atmosphere once the proceedings begin. The priests patiently wait for dusk to settle and for the Samaritan high priests to arrive and take their place near the area of sacrifice. When the chanting begins, it's a journey back in history of some 3,600 years. The Samaritan Aramaic used in the ritual envelops the crowd in its uniqueness and rich history. The rays of the sunset turn the archaeological ruins on Mount Gerizim as well as the surrounding buildings to a beautiful gold. Visitors from all walks of life come to observe this event, from the Sisters of Mother Teresa, secular and religious Jews, Catholic priests, and evangelical Bible schools who have included it in their curriculum. Close to dusk, the first lambs are brought to those in charge of the sacrifice. The trenches are equipped with meat hooks, water hoses, ample supplies of salt and space in which to separate the offerings into the proportions going to the Lord, the priests, and the families. Over 100 lambs must be offered according to the number of the families of the Shomronim. Children's attachments to their lambs only serves to underscore the gravity of offering our best up unto God. The chanting led by the Shomronim high priest, can be heard throughout the small community. Even before the first sacrifice, preparations are underway to extinguish the fire pits. Troughs of earth are dampened with which to douse the flames. After the sun has set, a smooth and quick operation, accompanied by priestly oversight, gets underway. The painless slaughter of the animal, the washing, skinning, dressing, and impaling upon a cooking pole. The offering is then brought to the fire pits to be salted and placed over the fires. Some internal organs, perhaps reserved for the priests, are washed and salted. The Lord's altar is laden with fat and the parts designated as belonging to him. A young boy shakes salt over the altar. The evening is brought to a close by vigorous chanting by the priests. This unique people are an opportunity to both step back in history and to anticipate the future. Several Jewish groups are now training to officiate at a rebuilt temple. A newly reappointed Sanhedrin exists here in Jerusalem after almost 2,000 years. The faithful of the Temple Mount requests on a yearly basis to begin rebuilding the temple. Of course, to date, they have been refused. Recently, a third group requested permission to sacrifice on the Temple Mount, only to be rejected by the Islamic Authority. In place of sacrificing on the Temple Mount, they took their event to the nearest hill south of the walls, but still in view of the Temple Mount. Who really knows when the prophecies will be fulfilled? Untimely speculation usually ends in error. However, what we're seeing now, and what you've seen in this video, serves to let us know that we're at least closer to the time of the coming of the Messiah.